Welcome to Scofield Farm. Today I'm going to give you a September garden tour before the end of September. Believe it or not, it's like every month, it's the last day. That's when I decide to do it. But I want to show you real fast before I head out to the veggie garden. We're focusing on the veggie garden today. I want to show you my kitchen herb garden and why, as Taylor Swift would say, we cannot have nice things around here. Look at what my chickens did. Yeah, all the soil is out here. There are deep divots. I don't even know if this always comes across, but like dug up plants. My ginger has not even had a fighting chance this year. The dahlias have not even bloomed one time, which is very odd, but I think it's because of all the digging from these darn chickens. Oh, we found one of the culprits. Some people call it free ranging and I call it terrorizing sometimes. Go on, you go back out there. I have a love-hate relationship with my chickens, and it doesn't help that my kids left the gate wide open. How's that to a start of a garden tour? Go on. No, wrong way, go on. Wrong way, go on. Yeah, good girl. All right, well, let's get this thing started the right way. Welcome to my September garden. It rained last night. It is beautifully fresh in here. I'm wearing a hoodie representing my oldest son's new school. He is a transfer civil engineering major, but I am excited to share my garden with you today. We will forget about the chicken drama for a moment and let me introduce myself. My name is Carice, and I live in Northern California with my family of 9. My husband and I, Bill, have 7 kids, and we have a little family farm. We call it a family farm. It's really just a little homestead, 3.5 acres in Northern California. I always joke that when my kids are adults, they can build an ADU on the back 3. Feels like a lot of land in California. To those of you new here, we love to share what we do. And those of you who are returning, welcome back. I love to have you. I'm excited to show you how things look because with things cooling down, yes, we are so wild and crazy here, but there's so much food coming in. I feel like September is a really good month for our garden to have a really good harvest. And look at these flowers behind me. There is just so much beauty and life this year that it has to make me smile. Even with the craziness, it makes me smile. I'm excited to share it with you. You little hens, you stay out of my backyard. Those of you who've been around a while have known that we do a garden tour at least once a month. It feels like it's always the last day of the month. That is just because with 7 kids, life gets away from me all the time. I'm sure you can't relate, right? Of course you can relate. I have been looking back at my September garden tour from last year, and it is amazing what is similar and what is different. And I'm always baffled and amazed and I guess intrigued by how the garden is different every year. It's never a carbon copy of the year before. Even if I planted everything in the exact same places, it would be different. And that is something that keeps me coming back over and over again. Let's start with this bed and let's start with the bees. Yes, that is my bee because we keep backyard bees on my beautiful zinnias. This color is new to us this year. It is so pretty. It is from Save Seed, and so it's some sort of hybrid or variation. I am really loving it. And of course, I love the candy cane. This one right here is actually ready to, except that it's wet from the rain, but it's ready to harvest for seeds. When you have those, deadhead them, save them for seeds next year. Zinnia are so easy to grow from seed again. This mess right here is my summer squash. And yes, you can see I have a zucchini somebody missed. That is like the reputation of zucchini. And people talk about this dynamic all the time, but I haven't been one that had it much. I have been one who somehow can grow a lot of great things, but never had the crazy abundance, crazy huge lost zucchinis. We just got like zucchinis trickling in this year. We have got so many zucchinis and summer squash. And I love that I relate to the other gardeners who feel like they're overwhelmed by zucchini. Every Sunday we have lunch with my family, with my sister's family, my mom, often my 95-year-old grandma. And we bring a side to share and some sort of meat to grill for our own family. And I have been bringing this wonderful summer squash. I'm going to show you. It's called Lebanese summer squash. It is my first year growing it. I got it from Redwood Seeds. I am not an affiliate. I just absolutely love their seeds, and they are local to Northern California. I love to support local business. And this squash, even if it is huge, still tastes amazing. So buttery, so delicious. It's mild. It's just everything that you would want from a summer squash. We have these, we like them. We got those from Redwood Seed as well. But the one I'm telling you about is this monster of a bush that, even though we try to grow them vertically, like they're supposed to go up that tomato cage, this one is just unreal. And you can see there are bees like diving into the flowers. This is like my favorite. Did you know a colony of bees at this time of year has like 50 to 80,000 bees in it? I was telling that to my son the other day when a bee died, and he said, "Mom, you have like 100 more." And I said, "Honey, I have like 100,000 more." We have 2 hives. Look at that thing. That thing is huge. It got lost, and it's still gonna be delicious. There's another one in there. A nice gray-green color. Those are worth growing, you guys. If I give you a recommendation of some sort of summer squash, that's the one. Lebanese summer squash. Write it down. There's even another one at the end of this bed. So it is prolific, it is delicious, and they taste good, even huge. On the end here, you see there are some onions coming back that we missed harvesting. They will probably end up going to seed this year. That's okay. I'll harvest them early as spring onions. But on the end here, a few videos ago, I showed you that I planted some more beans. These are those, what are they called? I don't remember. Asian long beans? Noodle beans. That's what it is, noodle beans. These will grow up. No. Yes, these are noodle beans. I second guess myself. One little trick I learned for growing beans in our climate. We are in Zone 9B, Northern California. We're outside the second sunniest city in the US. We get a lot of heat, a very dry Mediterranean climate summer. That means like no rain for about 4 to 6 months. Our rains are cold rains in the winter. So we have a lot of pest pressure in the summer. We don't have a lot of diseases and that kind of stuff, but we have a lot of aphids and any type of little pest that sucks the life out of the leaves of plants. And my trick is, I don't plant beans in the spring or early summer. I plant my beans at the end of summer to basically be a direct sow fall crop. And that way I actually miss most of the aphid pressure. It's worked for me the last couple of years. I had quite a few years of a lot of frustration with so many aphids that I would have to blast off with a hose on my little bean teepees, and it was too hot for the beans to actually produce. I felt like just only frustration growing beans. And now I don't have to clean many off. If there are some, they usually are not overwhelming the plant, and I do get the beans as fruit. So it's worked well. If you're in a climate like mine, I recommend this is a great time to sow beans if you have a long growing season. We don't usually get frost till like mid-November. Sometimes it's been as late as December, so it works here. You can see the rest of the mess on the other side of this bed is mostly tomatoes. This is where I put my paste tomatoes. I don't love my decision this year. We have done terrible at tying them up because we've had a lot of physical problems this year. If you've been around a while, you know that I had shoulder surgery. I'll take that little tomato for myself. Surgery put me out of commission in my garden longer than I anticipated. It's a really long story. I've kind of been sharing it over the last few months. It was in January, and it actually has been a quite difficult road for this gardener. But I want to show you, the point of today is I want to show you how fruitful a garden can be even when the gardener has had a rough year and a hard time. And this sage does not need any help from any gardener. It is out of control. I literally gave a huge bag away to my cousin. I can barely walk by this monster to show you anything else. More tomatoes, all my paste variety. They are producing, but just not as good as they did last year. I don't know if it is the weather or if it's the bed. I think it's maybe both. This next bed, I have pickling cucumbers, and they are still producing great. Right there, see that? I direct sowed them this year. I usually start them as a plant, but because of my surgery, I had to have as little hassle as possible. They're producing great still. They do have bugs, you can see that, but the fruit is unaffected, so I don't care. I'm an organic gardener. And pests happen, you know, they happen. Little bits of chamomile down here, onions coming back that were missed, out of control tomatoes, out of control chives. You guys, I love chives. I think I'm gonna have to do something about all these chives in my life. They are a little too much. Oh, you guys, this is new to me this year. First year growing it, celosia, and look at the purple tips. I am absolutely in love. I probably should like stake these up. The rain made them in the path, but I love them. But look what the rain did. It made my basil look so much better. This is my Italian basil. It is an Emily basil. It's been kind of slow. I've like been harvesting for caprese salads with tomatoes that trickle in, but it's not huge bushy, but it feels like it's gonna be. My favorite tip with basil is to make up a bunch of pesto and freeze it in cupcake muffin trays. And so they're like pucks. They're not like little ice cube trays. We have a big family. We do the giant puck size. Then I pop those pucks out and then I put them in like a gallon freezer bag. And then we pop several out all winter long. And we do, well, half my family's gluten-free. So instead of doing like pasta pesto kind of meal, we do pesto rice more often. Oh, it is such a comfort food to us. Our family loves it. I don't know if I invented it, but it was out of, you know, necessity, and I'm sharing that with you free. There's a freebie from me to you. Try it, pesto rice. You will thank me later. You can see all that green growth peeking through the fence beyond the messy, sickly looking tomatoes is tons of celery. And I need to harvest some, and maybe I bring it in for hummus today. But what I really wanted to show you in this bed, if I can get past all this celosia, is this volunteer lettuce coming back. We grew over 100 heads of lettuce in this bed over the winter and spring. And this is Mayan jaguar, and look how lovely these plants are that are coming back. They are like a romaine type lettuce. They are speckled, they are crunchy and delicious. And I'm going to get some of those for some sandwiches. These on the end of the row are eggplant. It's a new eggplant to me. It's called Rosa Bianca, I think. And look, the color is like stripy, white and purple. Oh, and look at this new celery. It's a Chinese pink. Can you see the pink down there? I mean, look at this. I am a sucker for pretty things. I had five boys in a row. And then I've had a daughter. Thought that was impossible, delighted. And then I had a surprise second baby girl. And so I am in my like pinks and purples era. I've done all the sports. We have, I think I told you guys in a different video, like 7 soccer teams between my 5 boys. But pink and purple are making a comeback. I never was a pink fan. And I'm delighted with pink celery and pink flowers, and it's my pink and purple era. I mean, tell me how this cannot be absolutely delightful and eye candy. That is so pretty. As I give you a tour, I'm actually harvesting a little bit for dinner tonight, which is such a fun reason to garden. Eating straight out of the garden is awesome. More bees. I have kept backyard bees for 2.5 years, and I love them. I keep them literally so I will get to watch them in my garden. And the honey is just a bonus. This bed is my strawberry bed. I always meant to thin it, to, goodness, prune it, to top it off with good soil or compost. It did not happen, but it's still producing amazing. And it just needs to be done more this year. Here's one almost ready. You can see some over here. Oh, there's a couple. So here's some really good ones. This is so fun. When you have a bunch of kids, they have free snacks in the garden. This one is my new baby. What shall I name him? What I really need to do is deal with this next bed and the mess. I have tomatillos, I have wild and crazy tomatoes, I have wild and crazy zinnias, and I don't have a lot of time to deal with it, but my body's starting to feel better, so I feel encouraged and want to deal with it. Lots of basil too, lots and lots and lots of Thai basil in this bed that I've actually harvested a lot of. Zinnias, which you can see down here. underneath we have like the forest of tomatillos. So many, and I have only made one salsa verde so far, but I'm sure that there's another whole batch to make in here. Aren't they beautiful? This is the first year they've done very well for me. Crazy tomatoes that have not been crazy fruitful because of the heat, and I haven't pruned them very well. Sorry, but we have this Thai basil that is delicious. It's beautiful. The bees love it. It does so well in our climate. It tastes licoricey, and I love to have like a saute of garden veggies with some basil. I also like Thai basil as a hot tea at night. I like that licoricey flavor. It is like comforting to me, and you should try it if you haven't. Thai basil's beautiful with the purple flowers, but you can use it in food or in teas. So much basil, little bits of calendula that need to be cleaned up, but they're really pretty color. Very happy. And this is a new acorn squash to me. This is my first one that's about ready. I haven't even harvested one yet. I might leave it just for a couple more days. And as I said, chives are out of control this year. Thai basil's out of control this year. Oh my gosh, I finally got tomatoes from this sucker. Yay, I'm gonna take a couple of these in right now because I have had ground squirrels that have been eating my tomatoes, and it is so disappointing. These are not quite ready, but they will finish on the counter. Down here is a little bee who is loving the tomatillo flowers. This mess here on the ground, this is California poppies that volunteer for me. You gotta pull that weed out of there. And some of them are dead, but they bloom really pretty, like the ones over there. You can see them in the path. Here's a little eggplant. I decided this is a tour/harvest time for me. I'm gonna pull the whole thing out of the ground. Okay, let's do this the proper way. And oh, I just cut the top of that plant off. Are you kidding me? I cut the top of my plant off for one little tiny eggplant. Guys, it's such a Monday. If I cut it off properly, it'll grow side stems, but that was super bummer. That's like the whole top. This section of the garden reminds me of the country song, Beautiful Crazy. Oh my gosh, it is beautiful and crazy, and yet I love it. I do, I love it. I don't know, something about it. Right here, this is my Jamaican Roselle hibiscus. I make a beautiful drink with that for my husband that he grew up with in Guatemala. For us, it does not bloom until temperatures drop. It's like 70 something degrees right now. It's gonna be back up to 95, but maybe it'll put on a couple blossoms, I hope. Listen, you can all be with me in my imperfection. I am not a perfect gardener. This year especially, the garden has really got away from me. Physical injuries have been a big deal, and I haven't even been able to harvest as much as I'd like. Definitely didn't prune as much as I like. It's beautiful, crazy, but I'm finally starting to have some strength in my arm. I had shoulder surgery, having some strength in my back. I had a huge back issue, sort of triggered from the original car accident, sort of triggered from the shoulder surgery. So the fact that I'm just out here makes me happy, because so much of this summer, I avoided my garden, honestly, guys, because I was kind of depressed that I couldn't do anything. I couldn't squat down like this. I couldn't reach over. I couldn't harvest. I couldn't plant. I couldn't prune. It was depressing. It was a hard, dark season in the most beautiful, fruitful, sunny, colorful time of the year. But I just want to remind you, I don't know if you're going through any dark season stuff right now, but seasons are just that. They're seasons. They pass, they come, they go. They can be really challenging, but no season lasts forever. And there is always another sunrise on the other side. There's always hope and a new day. And I know this has nothing to do with a garden tour, but just real life, wanting to be real with you guys. I try to be really, really real with you guys on this channel, that we can make it. We can get through hard things. I'm gonna cry. Last week, I don't know why I'm telling you this, but last week, I really battled anxiety, and some days it was like moment by moment, I had to know I'm gonna make it to the next moment. It doesn't even have to be rational. Anxiety is just like that. And I just want to tell you guys, whatever you're facing, whatever you're going through, you can keep going. You can do hard things, and the garden helps me with that. And I'm so thankful that my body is just doing enough better that I can get out here and get some garden therapy and get some perspective outside, vitamin D, sunlight, dirt under my fingernails, and see the bees, see the pollinators. We can make it through hard things. We can make it through hard seasons. Let's get back to the tour. I'm a little embarrassed, guys, but it's real. It's real. We all have hard times. A lot of people suffer with anxiety without ever talking about it. So if you do, you're not alone. You can comment to me, you can message me. I do understand, and I'm with you. And things like these beautiful eggplants, it's funny, but they do help me out. They help. So I'm gonna bring some of these tiny little eggplant inside to encourage the plant to produce more. And maybe I can get my son to saute them with some rice as a side for dinner tonight. I have a 16-year-old who is doing a cooking elective for high school. We homeschool, and I like to have each of my boys at some point do like a cooking class where they learn how to actually make things for someday to pleasantly surprise their future wives that they know how to cook and they know how to feed themselves real food and not just like junk fast food, you know? These will be delicious. And this one is absolutely gorgeous. New to me variety, and because of the stripes, I think it's gonna make an appearance again in my garden. I like this. The next bed is supposed to be my hot pepper bed. It has been slow to take off, but it's got really pretty zinnia. I did add bush beans to it and some pole beans on the end. I will show you. Last year, my hot peppers were amazing, my super hots. This year, they're okay, but it's okay. Every year is different. As I said, every season's different. Every year is different. If everything was always exactly the same, exactly predictable, nothing ever changed, life would be boring. Hard times come, but they actually make good times that much sweeter. And even whether it's life or the garden, it's a harvest. If there's a really crappy year, if there's a bad year, it makes the good years that much sweeter. A bad season makes the joy moments that much more rich and worth it. This bed where I just harvested some eggplant, we have chard that's been in this bed since we did it. Basically, it was volunteers from a soil mix I had from a friend who does microgreens. But we have more chard. We have some super hot peppers here. I believe that's habanero. No, it's not. I don't know what it is. I think it's Tabasco. That's a very small Tabasco. But these are Thai chili dragon. They are one of our favorite hot sauces. They are late to the game, but you do see some red ones and you definitely see some green ones, and we will make some hot sauce from that. We have cayennes. I make my own ground cayenne pepper. A couple, oh my gosh, this one looks terrible. Beans and my serrano. This is my only serrano doing decent. Usually my serranos are like up to there. This one is pretty short, but it does have peppers. So I'll take it. I'll take that as a win. Over here is a little tiny fire and ice pepper plant I tried for the first time. A couple cabbages coming back. And then we have tons of beans. These pole beans on the end. I actually think these are the noodle beans, and I think the other ones were my purple beans, and I got them mixed up when I told you. So cancel that, what I said before. These are the noodle beans, the other are purple beans. And then several kinds of bush beans that just kind of took a while for these to come up. But these are doing really good over here. And for some reason, they're vining. I think they're provider. They're supposed to be bush beans, but they're vining. So I'll just encourage them up the trellis. And they've been giving us a good amount of beans, which I'm happy about, because that's one thing that I love if I can grow and I don't have to buy it at the store. We're a lot of people and we can eat beans really fast. And we just like to saute them. We're super simple. Love them though. They are so delicious. They're a good side to bring to our Sunday lunches. I hear the buzzing of this bed before I see it. Right here on the arch trellis, I have my lemon cucumber, my trobacino squash. In fact, there is one, I think, that looks about ready. And there's lots of aphids on the plant. That is fine. I'm not worried about that. There's tons of bees on the plant as well. And there are more cucumbers than I could ever possibly imagine this year. And it has been the year of the cucumber for sure, but I want to show you this. This is my first year growing these, and they are delightful. I love butternut squash. They look kind of like a really big butternut squash. I don't know. I don't want to break the vines, but that's impressive. That is impressive, guys. I want to grow them again. I like them. I probably should harvest some of those. I don't know. This this bed's a little crazy. So I'm going to go through the arches first for you and get to the beds. My arches are beautiful. Oh my gosh, we have a loofah. Oh my gosh, these don't usually come till late, but this is good. This one might try out. Last year I harvested all my loofah green, and I have a whole video how I process them. They are not a lost cause green. You can process them and get beautiful sponges. I'll link that in the description. I have spaghetti squash, and being gluten-free, mostly family. I mean, 100% for 4 kids, but these are invaluable. We make spaghetti squash pasta with meat sauce. It is so good. We'll harvest those soon. Well, this little pumpkin harvested itself. That's gonna come in with me. I wonder what happened. Was it a critter? Could have been the rain. All right, this is a harvest video. Didn't think it would be, but that's okay. It's beautiful. I'll have to cure it, but it is beautiful. I have to have you see something so funny. Speaking of that pumpkin, I had a pumpkin that got caught in my trellis. It's too much. I'm gonna have to have my husband cut this out. Can you see that? It is like literally halfway between. I tried to push with all my might. I'm not the strongest person ever, but we're gonna have to cut that out and just eat it before it's cured because it is stuck in there and I'm afraid it's gonna grow too big. But we have the most beautiful pumpkin ever that I need to cut off. This one, and it looks like the stem is finally looking dried out. This is ideally when you harvest them is when it looks like, you know, it's dying all around it. Well, that came off. It came off super easy and it's beautiful. It's the most beautiful, vibrant orange I think I have ever seen. Even my kids go, Mom, did you see that orange pumpkin in the garden? We've grown pumpkins like on these trellises. I don't remember how many years, but this is the brightest orange we have ever got. So some of these aisles, I don't even know if I can take you down. I did mention I have butternut squash. I'm a fan. Did I show you those? Here are some up high. We eat those, we save them. We eat them all winter long. I've got a beautiful mess of zinnias here on this side of this bed. And you guys, since I wasn't pruning this garden, it's really hard to walk in some areas. More bees, more pollinators. It's beautiful and it's so crazy. Actually, more Thai basil. But I want to talk to you about this pepper. This pepper plant is new to me. It's called lemon drop. Never grown it. I grow only one bush. It is so packed. I want to make hot sauce with it, you guys. I need to come out here and do a huge harvest. And I don't think I have time today because I have physical therapy for me and my daughter, but it is incredible. It is incredible. I wish I could really show you. It is like huge, bigger than my serranos are, but for sure. And absolutely packed, and they're spicy. And all of the zinnias make me want to laugh and smile and dance. I'm so giddy. I love the puffy. They call them double bloom. I am in love with puffy things and sparkly things and bright things. I was one of those kids that watched Rainbow Bright and Punky Brewster in the late 80s with my sister, and I am like forever ruined. I love color. I do. I love color. I also blame it on my Nana, who is indigenous. She loved color, and I always say, well, the way I'm like my Nana, she died last May at 97 years old. I always say, I love color, just like my Nana. I come by it naturally. The peppers in this bed are magical, and I am like so behind in harvesting them because, as I said, I couldn't even squat down like this like last week. But look. Oh my gosh. I like to roast these and make diced green chilies, and I freeze them in like 4 ounces at a time. And we use them in enchilada casserole. What do I call it? Tortilla soup? Is that what I call it? I think so. I'm blanking, but these are so delicious. Chili, lentil soup, all the things, you guys. All the things. I really could talk to you all day about my garden. I probably could bore you to death because that's how excited I am to see things producing. These are Santa Fe. They are similar to jalapeno, not always as spicy, but I like to make cowboy candy with them. They're so good. I still have a little bit of cowboy candy from last year. These are sugarish peach. I think they're my favorite pepper right now. I'm bad at picking favorites, but I make hot sauce. I use them in my scrambled eggs literally every day. They're spicy, they are fruity, they are amazing. Please grow these if you don't. If you like spice of any kind, they are undescribable. I have so many of them in my garden this year because you can't overdo a good thing, or can you? I don't know, maybe you can, but not sugarish peach. You cannot overdo sugarish peach because you can dry them, you can freeze them, you can pickle them, you can can them, you can make hot sauce with them, ferment them, eat them fresh. There is no reason why you couldn't use all your sugarish peach. That's what I think. I mean, but I do love them. You could gift them. You could give them away. And this bed also needs to be pruned really badly of my calendula. They like took over and volunteered and I just went with it. You know, I actually like them, but I do need to clean them up. There's the real. I don't want you guys to think I'm all like tons and tons of peppers. No, I'm tons of mess too. Tons of mess. Even my zinnia need to be deadheaded. Though, as I said, perfect seeds to save right here. Perfect seeds to save to have this beautiful type of zinnia come back. And I would love that. I would never say no to that. I don't know how to show you in the middle of this. I'm going to try. This is rough. This is hard. I don't know. I'm going all over the guys. I'm going a little bit out of order, but this is like a crazy tomato jungle that didn't produce very many tomatoes, but produced a lot of jungle. A lot of bees. It's a good thing I'm not afraid of bees. Tulsi basil and more of my bees. And this is my favorite tea right now of all times. It is beautiful and it is also so tasty. I love it. I love it. If you haven't tried Tulsi basil, you should. I need to do another big harvest of it. I dry it. I drink it all winter long. I drink herbal tea literally every single day. Often I have 3 cups of herbal tea a day. That's how much I love it. Okay, finally we have some green tomatoes in here. You guys, you would think I was literally just growing leaves this year. And part of that is my fault. Oh, a red tomato. Oh yes, it's tiny. It's tiny, but it's red. I think I said part of that was my fault. I meant all of that's my fault. I'm growing in jungle because I didn't prune. I didn't tie things up. I tried to ask my husband to, but my husband has been doing so much for me. He built 2 new beds. He redid all the irrigation. He planted out most of the plants for me. He even helped me with seed starting, moving these to cups and stuff that I thought I'd literally be able to do all of this myself. The physical problems set me back. You're probably getting tired of me talking about physical problems, but it's real life. So for me to ask him to tie all this up and to prune all this, it didn't happen like it should. I'm trying to show you how big it is. Compared to me, it's really, really huge. And I got one red tomato. Oh well. It's wonderful soil. You can see how rich it is with nutrients because all that compost we put in that we did ourselves. My 16-year-old's really good at compost and he helped me with this. And it's rich, but I did not do good pruning. What is that noise? The strawberries in the path are my fault. I thought volunteers would be fun. Fun, they said. It'll be free food, they said. You also can't walk. Oh, but look here. Another red tomato, and it's not damaged by a ground squirrel. So that's good news. Oops, getting stuck on that. We had to put this in here just to push up the side. They never were supposed to be in it. We're just like literally pushing up the side. Okay, can I get through here? Well, 2 tomatoes out of that whole bed. That's something. We had a volunteer. Oh my goodness. Can I say words? Volunteer butternut squash come out of that bed. Happy because I love butternut squash. So that is a bonus. That's positive. I guess I'll show the other side of this bed. It really is just tomatoes this time with a few flowers and stuff thrown in between. I love royal carpet alyssum. If you've never grown it, it smells like honey. It is beautiful in our zone. It actually blooms all year round in our zone. I was trying to remember if I'm giving you fake news, but I'm not. In our zone, it grows and blooms year round. This is the volunteer zinnia, Amazon forest, and I don't know. It's supposed to be a path, guys. I don't know how I'm gonna go through there. I don't know, but we do have more purple carpet alyssum and lettuce leaf basil, which I literally put on my sandwiches and my burgers and in caprese salad. This is a really ugly Sartre-Lois tomato, but it is one. Kind of split, so is this one. Okay, the rain last night split stuff. We have everything on irrigation because we don't get rain. It's kind of ugly, but I'll take them. They're food. I literally have to finish this up because I have to go get my son from the college. My 16-year-old takes classes at the local junior college, JCO. You want to call it a JCO. And yeah, it's really close to us. So it's kind of nice, but I'm running out of time. I homeschool. We do some of that. Oh, look. Yes! This is a good discovery to find there's actually tomatoes growing. Can I get through this? I do not know. Welcome to the September garden. Yay! Oh, okay. So yeah, just more tomato craziness on either side. Yes, I will show you. It is real. It is wild. But there is food. Do you see that? There's food. Just trust me on that one. There's food. The other side of this. Oh my gosh. Something got in here and ate the tops off. And was it chickens or was it deer? And I think it was chickens. Or grasshoppers? Okay, don't mind the weeds. It's been a rough year. Don't mind the dead sunflowers. It's been a rough year. But this is our third round of potatoes. You may have been with me when I planted these or when I harvested the last ones. Yay! This is peas, volunteer peas. Okay, but anyway, something ate all the greens off there. And I did see the garden gate open the other day, so it might have been chickens, but deer also can hop the fence and they're rascals. We've also had grasshoppers, but this one looks good. I don't know. The sunflowers, they're very sad this year. But, oh, look. If you look on this side, they don't look so sad. Hello. My chickens get a pretty view. My little rascally chickens. More of the Amazon of tomatoes. But it's a black beauty, and hopefully, I love the purple. The purple's so pretty, and it's actually good for you. It's actually got lots of good stuff in there for you. All right, over here. More celery, more tomatoes, beautiful cosmos that need to be deadheaded, but this is real life. This is how it goes. Oh, a teeny little pink Chinese celery. It's so cute. Oh, we're going to be rich in celery, much more than I planned on. I don't even know what to do with it all. I have an extra tomato I planted in there, and it is, I don't know, it's flowering. I don't even know what kind it was. It was a volunteer I moved, so we'll find out what that is. My poor, yeah. We're not even going to talk about the umbrella that has barely been used this year. It's been rough. But these are my asparagus beds. Obviously, they're wild and crazy, blooming. They produced in the spring. Right here, we have a mess of sunflower, but the mess is gorgeous. I love when they're multi-heads like this because I feel like they just are the gift that keeps on giving. And I think birds are getting the seeds. I don't care. That's the year. It's the year for the birds. They get the seeds and my bees get the flowers. And I get this mess of tomato nonsense and zinnias. So, oh, over here, I have my 30-gallon grow bag of sweet potatoes. And we have an old dill. And I'm just going to say goodbye. I have so much dill inside. I honestly don't need this. I can volunteer and self-seed. Okay, so this is going to be sweet potatoes. We've never grown them in a grow bag, but it was necessity this year because we've had so many problems in this bed. This is where they were supposed to be with gophers stealing entire plants. So this was a last minute decision. I feel like it's going to be a good decision. We will find out for sure. But yeah, we'll harvest those after frost kisses them. That's how I do it. I wait till the frost kiss, then I harvest. It makes them sweeter. We don't really get that cold. I mean, in all honesty, it's not that cold here. So frost, we might still have an 80-degree day or, I mean, it's just kind of weird here. We do have real winter, but it's not like y'all who stay below freezing for like a month. We don't do that. It hits freezing, and then it'll come back out. It'll come back out. Okay, this bed is like basically sweet pepper bed, but really more like bell pepper bed because I had a lot of bell peppers. Try to say that 10 times fast. And there's some really, really, really beautiful ones. We sauteed some of these the other night, just green. I like to wait till they turn red, but they were so delicious. I don't know how many plants I have of them, but we have other plants down there. Corono, let's see, Corbaci. We have shishito somewhere in there, but we've barely got any, barely any at all. Oh, but these are cute. Look at that Corbaci. They're like long little snake-like things. And no one in my family waits for them to turn red because everyone just takes them when they're out here and eats them. So I don't even know if they taste like red. Everyone eats them the yellow. More little eggplant. The eggplant that I cut to the top of, it's not the only one, so that is all lost. All is not lost? I don't know. Little snapdragons coming back. We used to have a huge bush over in that corner. Cut it way back. And little ones are coming back and they will probably bloom in the winter. That's fun. Okay, here is my echinacea. I do harvest this for teas. It is beautiful. I would like to make a tincture with it too, but so far we've done teas, and I actually would like to split it and harvest some of its root maybe this year if I am feeling well enough. I'm not making any promises because it has been a rough year, but I would love to dig some of that up because it's the 3rd year and harvest it. Okay, maybe it's the 4th year. More about those. This, I want to brag on this plant. Okay, over here, you don't see a lot of them because I harvest them, but this sugarish peach plant overwintered in my garden. I literally made a video of how to bring in pepper plants inside, how to overwinter them, and then I forgot to water them because I had surgery. This one stayed out here unprotected. I gave up trying to overwinter in the garden and it made it. And my ones brought inside had user error. I did not water. The backside of the lovely mess of lemon cucumber, full of aphids and full of bees and full of lemon cucumbers, taller than my head. The last thing I'm going to show you is all of my cherry tomatoes. If I had time, I would pick all of them, but I don't. So I'll chew in your ear as I pick some of my favorite. My very favorite are Sungold. This year I grew Sungold. I grew, Sungold, black cherry. I was trying to remember chocolate cherry, black cherry. Right here, I'll show you. Right here. I grew blue cream berry, super sweet 100 berries, crazy cherries. It should be like thousands, millions. They've been so-so, but super sweet 100 are thousands, millions. They're crazy. I mean, it's like just 2 of them, but there are literally thousands on this plant. It makes me happy. So I don't know if you can tell. It's packed, it's packed, it's packed. So much good food. We make our own hummus, which I keep saying I'm going to make a video that shows you kind of our secret recipe. It's not really a secret, but we've made it for a long time. We make it for parties because it's naturally gluten-free, type of healthy-ish, yummy snack. And people always ask us for the recipe, and I've been putting different recipes on this channel that I do in the kitchen. And several people in the comments have asked me for it and have not forgotten. I just need to actually do it for you. So keep watching for it. It's coming. It is coming. In fact, that might be a good reason to subscribe to my channel so that you know when it comes. If you hit the bell, you don't have to hit the bell, but if you hit the bell, you're going to get alerts that tell you about new videos. So this is the kind of stuff you like, kind of content. We'd love to have you join us. Also, a little late in the tour to tell you, hit the like button if you enjoy my kind of craziness. Hopefully it's not too much for you, but it's real. It's real and it's fun. And I'm so encouraged. You guys, I might cry again. I am so encouraged after such a hard week last week to come out here and to see so much stuff doing well, even though I have not been out here like I've wanted to be this summer. I am so happy. Hang in there, guys. If you've had a hard time, there is joy and happiness on the other side. In some way, we can do this and we can do this. And let me know in the comments if you're going to grow a fall garden, because my last couple of videos have been about growing a fall garden, the top 10 things that I would grow in a fall garden. I forgot to mention beans because I wasn't thinking of fall garden. I direct sowed them the end of July. But technically I'm harvesting in the fall, right? I share that stuff. I did a little bit different format. I'd love to know what you think of that format. If you hate it, please don't thumbs down my video. Please just let me know kindly in the comments, because I do want to make things you enjoy. I'm just trying to fit all this into my life because I have to run and get my son right now. But also I started seeds and I'm so glad I did. They are coming up, and see the little seedlings, because that always makes my heart really happy. It's like little pets and little seedlings and babies. I love little things, I think. And yeah, we will have future videos. I will make that hummus video someday. And let me know also if there are certain things that you would love for me to make a video on. Your feedback helps me so much. I have my email below. I also have an Instagram. You can also just simply comment to contact me, and I read every comment. I reply to each one. I try to get back to everyone's emails, and I love to chat with people over on Instagram. Same handle, Scofield Farm. And I will see you soon. Hang in there. There might be gray skies, but sun is coming. I promise we can do hard things, and we can have a very beautiful life, even in the midst of all the hard. Bless you guys. Thanks for joining me. I'll see you soon.